Hi there, I'm Jason, formerly of Animal Planet Scaled and the owner of Calgary and Edmonton Reptile Parties in Alberta, Canada. For over a decade, I've been teaching people about reptiles, amphibians, and other creepy crawlies. So join me today to go on a reptile adventure and learn about these fascinating creatures. This week we're going to learn about reptile life cycles. Reptiles, of all the animals in the animal kingdom, have some of the most diverse ways of having kids. So, let's learn about reptiles as parents. This is Joe Elliott, the leopard gecko. Leopard geckos get their name because they are yellow with spots, like a leopard the cat, and they live in deserts in the Middle East and India. So they have a few adaptations to help them live in the desert, but one of the most important ones is their tail. They have a nice thick tail, and that is important for two reasons. They store fat there. A little bit of everything you eat stays in their tail. Sometimes where they live, there's no food or water. They can live off the fat in their tail for over a month, so it just gets thinner and thinner and thinner. Then when they find food, it gets nice and thick like it is now. The tail is also used for protection. If an animal is chasing them and they can't get away, they can drop their tail. It'll fall off and twitch and wiggle around on the ground like a worm. Hopefully, the predator will stop and eat the tail, and the gecko can get away. The tail grows back, but it's not as nice as the one they were born with and does take a lot of time and energy. If you're ever so lucky to get a pet gecko of your own, don't pull on its tail. That's rude. Geckos lay eggs. Now, arboreal geckos, often their eggs when they're laid are kind of sticky, so it's kind of like a glue, and they stick to them to the underside of a leaf or on the side of bark, and that's where they incubate and hatch. Leopard geckos are terrestrial, so they dig a hole, they lay their eggs, and they leave. They can lay 1 to 2 eggs at a time, but can lay multiple times over the course of a year. Now, what's amazing to me is the whole process of incubation. Incubation is the environment in which an egg develops, the temperature, the humidity levels. When you're raising reptiles or birds, you put the eggs in an incubator. The temperature that an egg develops at with a leopard gecko actually determines the gender of the babies. A degree or two warmer, it's probably going to be a boy and hatch quicker. A degree or two cooler is probably going to take a little bit longer to develop and will likely be a female. That's pretty fascinating, but it can also be an issue. Sea turtles are also gender specific, and with rising temperatures in their native environments, they've been seeing more boys hatch than girls. When you're talking about a critically endangered species, this is a big concern. So scientists are actually incubating some of the eggs to try and get more girls to balance that out. This is Rudiger, the ornate wood turtle found in South America, and this is Flapjack, the pancake tortoise found in Africa. Even though they look similar, turtles and tortoises do have some differences, primarily the fact that turtles like to live in or near water, tortoises are land animals, and turtles are omnivores, whereas tortoises are herbivores. Their shells are part of their body and they can't take them off. In fact, they even hatch with them. They're not their home. Their home is where they live. A pond, a stream, a burrow, that is their home, not their shell. Turtles and tortoises do lay eggs. Now, the number of eggs depends on the species. Some, like sea turtles, can lay hundreds of eggs, but with these guys, it's not very many. The ornate wood turtle will lay 3, 4, maybe 5 eggs to 4 times a year. The pancake tortoises only lay 1 egg around 2 to 3 times a year. Now, this is actually a problem because pancake tortoises are an endangered species. And one of the biggest challenges with species that are threatened, like pancake tortoises or pandas that have a really low reproductive rate, is it's very challenging to be able to boost their populations in the wild. Fun little fact about pancake tortoises, when they hatch, their shell is actually domed, and then it flattens out as they grow. All right, here's a moment I know a lot of people are going to be excited for. Here she is, it's Kevin, also from Animal Planet Scaled. She's enjoying semi-retirement, she's been having a great time, and she's going to share with us about bearded dragons, because bearded dragons are awesome. They're found in Australia, and they're probably the most popular pet lizard on Earth. They're cute, they're friendly, they're awake during the day. And they have a lot of babies. Clutches can be in excess of 30 eggs, and they can lay multiple times. Now, the reason why so many animals have a lot of babies is because, unfortunately, a lot of them are not going to survive. The wild is a pretty brutal place. So they're dealing with predators, with not being able to find food, with disease. So it's a numbers game to try and have as many babies as possible so that hopefully 1, 2, or 3 of them will survive. As a pet, if we're raising bearded dragons, they're not going to have to worry about predators or finding food. But it's going to be pretty expensive because you're going to be looking at thousands of crickets fed to your babies every single week. And they can get hungry for other things too. Kevin is missing her back foot. That can happen sometimes with beardies nibbling on each other and losing feet, toes, or even the tips of their tail. Pythons and boas are some of the most instantly recognizable snakes on Earth, ranging from the small ones like anthill pythons and Kenyan sand boas, all the way up to the heaviest snake on Earth, the green anaconda, which is in the boa family in South America, and the longest snake on Earth, the reticulated python. While there are a lot of physical similarities between them, there's one big difference. Pythons lay eggs. They will actually lay around the clutch and protect it until the babies hatch. Boas, on the other hand, are born alive. It's still an egg and still a yolk, but they stay inside mom, and when the eggs are fully developed, they are born alive. There are several species of reptiles that have this ability, including garter snakes, all vipers, including rattlesnakes, skink species, and some chameleons. So that's reptile life cycles. The variety is pretty incredible. How long it can take for the eggs to incubate, how some reptiles will wrap around the nest and other ones just lay their eggs and leave, and the fact that some are born alive. But one common trait is the fact that overall, reptiles are pretty terrible parents. Either they lay the eggs and leave, or they protect the nest, and then when the babies hatch, they leave. I know that might seem sad to some of our younger friends that they don't have a mom or dad to grow up with, but when you think about it, it's pretty remarkable. Because from the moment they take their first breath, the moment they hatch, they're able to find food, they know how to protect themselves, how to hide. The moment we take our first breath as mammals, we're a red-faced screaming bundle of helplessness. And whether we're a human or a monkey or a leopard, you need mom and dad to help care for you and raise you and teach you how to survive. They don't need that. That's a really remarkable thing about reptiles, is they are born to survive.